The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the program host and guests, and do not necessarily represent the views of Western Carolina University or radio station WWCU.
It comes in the shape of a bar, sometimes a drop, even a bear. These three things share one thing nearly everyone loves: candy. But what about odd candies? What about confections unknown? I am Leo Fristacci, and this is Odd Confections. This episode, we will be looking at Baxley's Chocolates. Today, I am joined by Steve Baxley of Baxley's Chocolates. How are you doing today, Steve?
I'm doing great. Hope you are too.
Great. So, I want to go into a bit of the history. Like, has Baxley's Chocolate, has the store always been, has it always been in Silva, or has it moved around a bit?
Yes, we have always been in Silva. October was our 10th year anniversary, so we opened, October in 2015, and downtown Silva. We started out in a smaller location on Main Street, and then just moved a block away into our current location. So we've always been downtown, and Silva's our only shop.
I'm assuming since your last name is Baxley, it's owned within the family.
Yes, my wife and daughter and I are the owners of the shop.
Are there any chocolates that are like unique to this store? Because I know you guys have the Catamount Paws, since close to Western Carolina University.
Right. Yeah, there are some. Of course, well, Catamount Paw is our name for what's pretty widespread. Almost everybody has something like a catamount paw and calls them different things, but a caramel and pecan. So that's a pretty, straightforward chocolate. And that kind of our objective when we started was to make traditional chocolates that we might have a little tweak here or there, but they would be chocolates that like people my age would have grown up with. Kind of things that most people would be familiar with. So most of what we have, we have caramels and peanut butter meltaways and buttercreams. You can find in a lot of different locations. What may be different is that we do tweak some of them, like the toffee that we make is very much a traditional style toffee, but ours we make with rum, so it's got a little bit of different flavor than what you find in a lot of places. The most unique thing that we have, we feel like, is our sugar plum, which is a chocolate that I have yet to find in another shop anywhere, that I go into. And obviously, whenever we're on vacation and around, being a chocolatier, I always seek out other shops just to try new things. And sugar plum's not something that I've seen anywhere else. It's got a very old history, and it's not. It started out as a kind of a sugar confection centuries ago, and then it kind of changed over time to become a fruit and nut center. So it doesn't really have anything to do with sugar anymore, and there's no plum in it. But ours is a mixture of apricots, dates, and walnuts, and as I said, I just haven't seen anybody else that sells those other than us.
Well, that is definitely interesting, especially with sugar plums no longer really being sugar plum.
Well, right. It's and I guess just to say a little bit more, what it started out as, it was just I would say it would be the closest thing that we usually eat now are things like fireballs, atomic fireballs. They weren't hot, but it was basically just layers and layers and layers of sugar, and to be built up to be maybe like jawbreaker size. And so sometimes, just because centuries ago, they didn't really have equipment like we do now to make really standard, completely round shape. They would have been a little bit misshapen. And so my guess is that they became known as sugar plums because they were somewhat plum shaped.
That is definitely interesting. So, like, is there any specific season that y'all have, like, much more business than any other? Like, maybe around Christmas or Valentine's Day when it gets colder and chocolates get more spread around?
Yes. That's the thing about if chocolate shops have a very, very much a seasonal cycle, unless they're located in the maybe specific places where it doesn't change much, like in the South where it's high tourism. And of course, we have a lot of tourists here too. But generally speaking, almost all chocolate shops, not just ours, are the busiest in October, November, and December. Halloween kind of starts things, and then Thanksgiving is obviously a traditional time to give gifts and want something special around the house when you're having your Thanksgiving meal. And then Christmas, of course, is very big for chocolate shops because of Christmas gifting. So that's the big part of our year. And we also have increase in sales at Valentine's Day, Easter, and Mother's Day. Those are the other times where things get busier.
So, like, around the summer is normally when the off period would be?
The biggest off period is January. January is
Really?
The slowest time, and I think mainly because people, they still have a lot of chocolate that they were gifted during Christmas, that they haven't eaten yet. And then, and of course, then a lot of people have decided, oh, wow, I overindulged during Christmas and December and Thanksgiving, so I'm going to, watch myself, for a while. So January is usually, and again, that's pretty well nationwide. January is the very slow time. We're fortunate that chocolate does naturally, the demand goes down in the summer because of the heat, particularly in the South, because people just aren't interested in having it if they're, and having to risk chocolate melting as they get it home and that sort of thing. But we're real fortunate because of being in our location, and there are a lot of people that come to visit our area. And so, even though it is a little bit less, we have a lot of people that come in that, they're just wanting to pick up something as they're, kind of walking around downtown and picking out other shops. Our summer's not as slow as some places, I guess.
Like, they'll just be walking around and be like, oh, there's a chocolate shop here, and they'll go in and then...
Right, yeah. It's something to kind of, they're picking up something. They've eaten lunch at one of the restaurants downtown, but just wanted something small for dessert, or they're taking a break in the afternoon after they've been, again, kind of wandering in and out of our other great shops that are downtown, and just want a piece or two of chocolate just to take a break with. Yeah.
No, like when I was in the shop the other day, I also saw there was ice cream. I'm assuming the ice cream isn't just chocolate, or was I seeing it?
Right. Yes, we do. We have, and that's another thing that helps us in the summer when chocolate sales goes down, is we do have ice cream and gelato. The gelato is made by a small batch person in Asheville, and our ice cream comes from a shop in Marion that makes their own ice cream. So they're,
Really?
Still kind of regionally made and a little unique, and they've been very popular. But we do have, we have like about 12 flavors of ice cream and 6 flavors of gelato that we always have.
You said out in Marion, how much of the product that's in the store, like how much are you able to get that locally? Because I don't know if chocolate really grows locally to this area.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. There's not, chocolate chocolate itself only grows within about 10 degrees of the equator. So anywhere in the U.S., the chocolate is going to have originated out of the country. And there's nowhere close by that manufactures chocolate. Some places, there are places that will import the cocoa and then do all of the roasting and processing themselves. The place closest to us is French Broad Chocolates in Asheville does that. But most small businesses like us, get our chocolates from other suppliers, manufacturers that make the chocolate, and then we just buy it from them.
That is definitely interesting. I mean, it still definitely sells because, I mean, it is chocolate. I didn't know that about French Broad, though. I'm just curious, since we're getting closer to the season for that, any like hot chocolates or anything that y'all got?
We, right now, as far as in the shop, we sell what's called sipping chocolate. And sipping chocolate, I like to refer to it kind of like a liquid truffle. It's much more concentrated than if you buy, like making hot chocolate from a hot cocoa mix that you get in the store. Mm-hmm. It's a much higher percentage of chocolate in it, so it's thicker and richer, and there's no sugar added to it like most hot chocolate has. So it's it's not really bitter, but it's not as sweet. So it's a really, kind of different flavor experience. So we sell sipping chocolate this time of year, kind of fresh and made and hot. We don't have a mix for that. We also make, it's kind of a fad that started a few years ago, hot cocoa bombs, where basically it's we make a shell of chocolate that we do a mix of chocolate ingredients that we put inside with some marshmallows, and it's sealed, and you put it in a coffee mug and pour hot milk over it or hot water over it, make it at home. So we sell those too. We have talked about making up a mix that we use in the bombs and selling that just as a mix that people could take home and use. But we haven't quite gotten there yet to do that. But it's something kind of on our radar, is to make a mix that people could use themselves.
I have watched like hot chocolate bombs like go in the mug and just crack open. It's quite fascinating how it's even a thing. Because even I think 10-15 years ago, you wouldn't really be thinking like putting this orb of chocolate into
no, that's true.
A mug of hot milk or hot water.
That's true. Well, and because you're using kind of real chocolate and a lot of it makes a much, I think, chocolatey, rich flavor to it than powdered mixes do. So
like a much thicker flavor than what you'd find in a store brand powder.
Yeah. So it tastes better and it's fun too.
Yeah, it might keep the kids distracted on Christmas morning. Just put the bomb in and you can clear away all the wrapping paper.
Yeah,
while they're watching it.
Right.
We are slowly running out of time. I'm just curious if there's anything you would like to say that we have not talked about.
Well, as far as products go, I guess the other thing that we're really proud of is that we make our own brittles. We have a peanut brittle and pecan and cashew. We think they're excellent products. There's a lot of demand for those. So just as far as that goes, would encourage people to check those out if you're interested in brittle. But we are we are a small family business. We pretty much put most of our emphasis on waiting on customers that come in the door, and we'd love to see folks come in and check out what we have and hopefully find something that they can really enjoy.
That is an amazing thing right there. You make your own brittle.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I would like to thank you for your time today. I hope all is well. I hope this season goes really well for y'all at Baxley's Chocolates.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we're hoping so too, and looking forward to kind of greeting everybody as they come in for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and catching up with old friends and that sort of thing.
All right. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
Quite fascinating of what you can learn about a local chocolate shop most other people may not know about. And that is how the Odd Confection came to be. Next time, we will most likely be looking at another local chocolate shop. Maybe I'll find myself over at French Bread Chocolate Lounge over in Asheville, North Carolina. That is how this Odd Confection came to be. I am Leo Verstacci. This was Odd Confections. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.